Imagine you're sitting cross-legged in a quiet room in Sri Lanka, the sun filtering softly through open shutters. Bant Gunaratana, or Bantji, speaks calmly. Mindfulness isn't magic, nor is it complicated. It's simply paying close attention. But what if I told you this simple act could untangle the mess inside your head, the chaos you didn't even realize was controlling you? This book isn't about fluff or spiritual jargon, it's a hands-on map through your mind. So how does something so plain lead to peace in today's noise? Let's find out. Before you put on your meditation cushion, you've probably heard wild claims about mindfulness, like it's a magic pill or an escape hatch. Bantji cuts through the hype, showing us the messy, human reality beneath. Let's bust those myths wide open. In a simple monastery in Colombo, Bantji is asked if mindfulness can instantly fix anxiety. He replies, "If you want that, go to the candy store." This earthy answer tells us what mindfulness isn't, a quick fix or flashy trick. It's a disciplined art, forged through sweat and subtle attention, no glamour, just grit. But what does that look like? Stay tuned. Think of your mind as a radio stuck on static. Mindfulness is not a fancy new frequency. It's just turning the dial to listen carefully. Instead of zoning out or multitasking, you zoom in on your breath, your body, your thoughts, not to fight or change them, but to watch with kindness, like an old friend noticing every quiet shift amid the noise. The real surprise? Peace doesn't fall from the sky, it's grown. Like a scrappy vine wrapping slowly up a weather-beaten wall, mindfulness creeps into your life step by step, moment by moment, reshaping how you respond to stress, pain, or anger. It's not about perfect calm, but building a steady bridge inside yourself you can cross anytime. Breathing, that involuntary thing you do, 50,000 times a day, Bantji treats it like the loom for weaving awareness. But why the breath? And how does it become a tool to steady the restless mind? Let's unravel this breath by breath. Bantji guides a first-timer, Sarah, who can't stop her chattering mind during meditation retreats in Virginia. She starts counting each breath in 2s and 4s, inching closer to stillness. With every inhale and exhale numbered, the swirl of worries dulls until a stray thought almost derails her. But the count beckons her back, tethering despair to simple rhythm, and the session transforms. Imagine the mind as a tiny boat flung about by waves of distraction, plans, regrets, daydreams. The breath is your anchor, the sturdy rock beneath the rough sea. Even as tempests rage, mentally returning to the breath steady you, rooting your awareness in what's real and immediate. It's your lifeline back to the present, no matter how wild the storm. Once breath counting becomes second nature, it's like training wheels come off. Your mind no longer craves constant distraction. You begin to see thoughts as passing clouds, not gripping storms. This freedom, cool, steady, unexpected, is mindfulness unfolding. The breath isn't just air, it's your passport out of mental chaos, back to balance and ease. Here's where it gets gritty. Mindfulness isn't about chasing butterflies, it's about meeting the real, raw stuff your mind throws at you. Fear, anger, boredom. Bantji invites us to stare them down. But how do you face those monsters without running? During a retreat in the forests of Maryland, Bantji watched a student named Mark struggle when anxiety flooded him mid-meditation. Instead of fleeing or judging, Mark was urged to welcome the discomfort, noticing how his chest tightened, his heart raced. This wasn't surrender, it was radical acceptance. And suddenly, the feared monster lost its bite, becoming less a threat and more a signal. Think of your troubling emotions like a fire in a fireplace. You don't pile on the logs, nor do you stomp it out. Instead, you sit near, feel warmth, watch flames dance, but don't toss fuel in. Mindfulness teaches you to witness your feelings with this cool distance, acknowledging them, but refusing to feed their wildfire with reaction, blame, or fear. That acceptance opens a secret door. Discomfort isn't just pain, it's a transformative teacher. Bantji reveals how leaning into difficult feelings reshapes your mental landscape, turning what once paralyzed you into fuel for growth. Your monsters shrink when you stop running, they lose power and teach you strength instead. Your mind loves its old tricks, thinking, reacting, blaming, grasping. Bantji calls it the habit energy, a loop that traps us unwittingly. What if you could break that loop? What if freedom was a habit smashed open? One day in Washington, D.C., a stressed-out executive named Lisa learned to notice her automatic habits, snapping at colleagues, spiraling into worry. Bant G pointed out this wasn't her fault but habitual programming. The revolutionary idea: by simply pausing and observing a reaction, Lisa interrupted the chain. That pause became a crack in the wall. Imagine your habitual mind as a broken record stuck on stress track. Mindfulness is the finger that lifts the needle, halting endless repetition. The pause isn't passive, it's an active, powerful moment where new responses can emerge. This tiny break rewires your brain gradually but deeply, rewiring impulses into mindful choice. Over weeks, that pause multiplied. Lisa's reactions softened. She became a conductor of her mental symphony, not a victim. The habit chain cracked until it broke. That's the payoff: freedom from unconscious patterns, a clear mind choosing calm over chaos. Habit energy is powerful, but not unstoppable. In this fractured world, Bant G adds a fresh chapter on something precious: loving kindness. Not idealistic fluff, but a practical daily meditation that transforms your relationships and strengthens peace. Let me show you why it matters now, more than ever. In a meditation hall near Boston, Bant G leads a group in chanting phrases like, "May I be happy, may I be safe." A student, Alex, initially felt silly but gradually noticed a warm shift. Those simple words ignited genuine kindness, not just to self but spilling outwards, changing his attitude at work and home. Something subtle but radical was happening. Think of loving kindness as planting seeds in the soil of your heart. Each repeated phrase waters the ground, growing compassion shoots where bitterness once thrived. This practice is like slow-motion alchemy, turning selfishness into generosity and apathy into care, with every breath a chance to fertilize change in how you carry yourself. This kindness, starting small, grows roots that spread wide, mending fractures inside you and your world. Bant G shows that personal peace ripples to communities, nations, even the planet. It's not pie-in-the-sky optimism. It's a tool for tangible change, starting with a phrase and ending with a softer, stronger world. Remember that room in Sri Lanka, Bant G's calm voice cutting through noise? The whole journey circles back there. Mindfulness isn't about chasing exotic mental states, but learning to pay attention to the ordinary: the breath, your emotions, your habits. Try this tonight. Find 5 minutes to count your breaths. When your mind wanders, bring it back without judgment, like returning home. That small act unlocks a bigger story: your mind's freedom. You've got the tools, now it's on you to build the bridge. Subscribe for more book summaries like this one.